So now, so far, we've trained a machine learning model, Rush, in sklearn, right? So what questions so far do you have? Now you saw how, so basically the beginning, this is probably the most important notebook because it's taking in from importing the file to doing exploratory data analysis to detecting outliers and to training a model, right? So now what are you so far? Is there any confusion? And I know there should be questions to answer. So any questions? I'm opening it up to
I have a
everyone.
question.
Yes, please.
So I saw that you visually, you did the graph and you visually kind of like spotted the outliers. Is there a
Yes.
way to like, is there like some kind of like code or something you can use to like point out outliers without having to visually
Um,
analyze?
yes. So for example, right, from the description of each column, right? Some or one technique I use is if you notice, um, if you notice, so what I do is I look at the quantity of max values, the quantity of maximum value of a column. If it's just one entity or five entities, I go to those entities and describe them. So, say for example, if you look at citric acid, this is using graph, right? Now, the graph was able to visually, it was easy to spot visually, but there can be a lot of graphs you want. So, but from the description, we can see that citric acid has a highest of one. So I'm going to filter and say all the places where citric acid is equal to these maximum values, right? What's the quantity? Is it a huge quantity? Are there a lot of numbers around that? Or maybe greater than zero point 0.8? Are there a huge number? If they say no, it's just one, then that usually I'll have to investigate that it's an outlier. Does that make sense? And there are automated scripts to do that.
That makes sense. Thanks.
Any other questions, please?
Hello, sir.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah. Once again, thank you. I want to ask, which package do we need to install first in order to get this whole thing done? I
Um,
mean, the software, the first one we need to install, followed by this and followed by this. So we will know the ones that we are to install. Then we can actually use them on, because I don't know most of the things that you are doing now. Are you doing them online or on local PC? That's offline.
I am using Google Colab. I am using Google Colab currently, which is online. I have capabilities of solving them. I have something called VS Code, where I can type my code locally on my computer. I have Jupyter Notebook where I can type stuff on my computer. So that is it's possible to run it on your local computer. It's also possible to run it online. Make sense? Why I'm using online is because I can easily share the notebook. I can share to people. At least they can make copies on their own and make edits. So you can have the same notebook. You can ask questions, and then we can work together. Make sense? Any other
Yes.
question?
So which one are we to install first now in
I'm
order
going
to
to,
have
I'm going to send
to get
out.
them done
Yes, so I'm
on
going to
local
send out.
PC?
I've written a to-do list for me. I'm going to send out a list or probably a video that you can follow to, yes, Visual Studio Code. Yes, VS Code. Yes, that's what I mean. To send out that for installation, maybe links to links that will tell you to do lists, links on how to do DIY installation and everything for you. So I'm going to send those links out. So no problem. Which Samuel.
Okay, thanks. That makes sense.
Any other questions? I'll start
I,
reading.
I'm thinking maybe we should, to make it very beginner friendly, maybe we should just,
Create a
let them familiarize with Google Colab because it doesn't need any installation and all of that, right? Or what do you think?
Yeah, that's fine, but I think the issue is working
For people
online.
without internet.
Yes, yes, I think that's the issue.
Yeah.
So they just want to download, install, and work as long as they can do. Uche, I don't understand your question. You need the basic system configuration for what? Is there any other
I guess
question?
it's asking. I guess it's asking about the configuration of the system. Maybe 8 gig, Pentium this or Core i5, Core i3 or whatever, 250 gig.
Um, in my journey, I've used 2 gig with Jupyter Notebook. It's very basic. It's fairly basic. I think all the computers today should have capabilities of doing it. But irrespective, in the document I'll send out the specifications of it. Yes, which is very sufficient. Like you have more than enough. Any other questions? Please, any question centered about what we've done today. I know for many of us it is very basic. We're going to move on to, so next class will be a lot of question and answer after you've digested the notebooks. Please go through every line. It involves data structures, it involves dictionaries, list, string manipulation. It also involves stuff about. I've given you a link. So, say for example, the link of all the machine learning classifiers. When you have this code, all you need to do is come here and switch from here to here. You can switch from here to here to k nearest neighbor. Like for example, why do we need power transformers? Those are kind of questions I want us to ask. Right. So I'm pushing it back to you. I need questions from you guys so I can direct the teaching. I tend to go into things that may not be necessary. Um, what's the time? So in the next 8 minutes, any questions? What questions do we have? I would not love to add to this knowledge because I know there are questions.
So for us to practice, are you gonna make this data sets available,
So the
or do
link,
we have to like have?
just the way I have the link to the data set. So if you look at the slides, I have added the link to the data set, so you can get the data set to download. And for other exercises as regards regression, we're going to run through a number from here. At least I'm going to look for ones with I columns, but the links are here. You can just download the data set. And if you want the CSVs themselves, I can also make those ones available.
Okay, thank you.
June, yes, what's your question?
So my question is, with all this data that's already available, what exactly are we supposed to be working on, and how are we going to stand out when all these data already exist?
The existence, so now, good. The existence of the data is for you to build your skill. No company will bring their publicly available their hard-earned data and post it online. All these are very well simulated or small patches of their data. So, say for example, Shoprite. Shoprite will not tell you their consumer behavior data and post it online. So once you have a data like this and you can do very perfectly okay exploratory data analysis, you can build a model, you can deploy your model ASAP. All you just need is a skill that is plug and play. Once you get in that company, say, oh, I have this skill. Take the data. And you can run your analysis on them, and then you are a value to them. Then do you understand what I mean? June, did I answer your question?
Yes, but I'm trying to understand it because if I'm building something that's already existing, I mean, I'm trying to understand how do I, as an ordinary individual, benefit from this program, right? Because I know that there are other companies that are open, right? So how do we stand out so that this thing now becomes beneficial? Does that mean that we'd have to create something special that no one else has done?
Okay,
Because if
let
I
me.
wanted this service from you now, let's say you have something already, all I have to do is contact you and you can give me your database or build one for me. But I mean, so how does the ordinary person that's coming into this now stand out?
Um, so If I understand you well, you are saying that because this data is available, how do you stand out? If I understand you, is that your question? June.
Yes, 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 yes.
So the data available currently is just for learning purpose.
Hmm.
It's just like saying because you have new general maths, why do you need a maths teacher? It's just for learning purpose. Also, the hospital in California will not bring their actual privacy data for cancer patients and post it public. No. Do you understand? These are just
Hmm.
simulated values of the actual data for us to learn. So say for example, there are competitions on Kaggle that are worth $200,000. These $1,000, that those $1,000, right? That once you build our skills, we can go for these competitions. Now, all these data are very proprietary data that will not even these data will not be actual data that they have that is proprietary to them. It's just a simulated version of the data that they will make publicly available so that you can use to build your skills up for the solutions you can provide to them. Does that make sense? So
Okay, I
these,
hear you, but in
yes,
my mind, right, I'm thinking that all this preparation is going to prepare us so we can offer them the service. Somebody that
yes,
can pay that kind of money.
yes, you are very correct. That's yes, you are saying what I'm saying in another way.
Okay, that's fine. I think I'm good with the answer. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Any other questions? Any questions specific to the coding we've done today? Um, Sunday, please. What do you have to say? What's your question?
Okay, mine is not a question, it's just to appreciate you the way you approached, especially the aspect of solving that wine problem. I started up, you know, uh, data science, but when I got to uh, applying it to solve problems, that was when I had to just keep everything on hold. But with the approach you've come with, it's very encouraging, and I just want to appreciate you. Thank you, and
No problem. Thank you. I appreciate your appreciation. Thank you very much. So, any questions? So first and foremost, your assignment will be to go through the um, notebooks. I think there are about five, so it's a lot. Digest everything, and then the place at which you go tomorrow will be based on the questions you have. So if you have 200 questions, we'll answer those 200 questions before we move on. It is very crucial. So just seeing that, knowing that your exploratory data analysis is very good, you can also see that training the model is not an issue, right? Does that make sense? So I think we have 1 minute left. So um, I think if there are no more questions, we probably would the service is coming to an end. So thank you very much, everyone. This has actually been enlightening for me. I must stand up to say I appreciate Israel for doing this for 5 weeks. Is very enlightening, and I appreciate everyone. Those suggesting, I like the engagement. Let's keep it up. Let's do this. So um yes, let's use the group chat for more questions when you're available. So thank you very much, everyone. Take care of yourselves and have a lovely weekend. Bye bye.